Chapter 1. Foundations and Origins, 1933 to 1945. The history of Nissan has its roots in the 1930s, a period marked by rapid industrialization in Japan. What would become one of the world's largest automakers began with the merger of two smaller companies, Tabata Casting Company and DAT Motors. Founded in 1911, DAT Motors was already producing small vehicles and trucks, but the merger with Tabata, a specialist in casting parts, provided the industrial scale needed to expand operations. In 1934, the new company was renamed Nissan Motor Company Limited. The name Nissan comes from the combination of Neon, Japan, and Sanjo, industry, reflecting its mission to become a key player in Japan's automotive sector. In its early years, Nissan focused on manufacturing commercial vehicles and trucks to align with the Japanese government's military needs. Like other industries of the time, its operations were heavily influenced by the political climate leading up to World War II. During the war, Nissan's production shifted almost entirely toward supporting the war effort, supplying trucks and military vehicles. The factory in Yokohama, built in 1935, was among the first in Japan to adopt American-style assembly lines, demonstrating Nissan's early ambition to align with global best practices. However, by the end of the war in 1945, Japan lay in ruins. Like many companies of the era, Nissan was left almost paralyzed, with damaged factories and scarce resources. This challenging period marked the end of the company's first chapter, setting the stage for a new beginning amid national reconstruction efforts. Chapter 2. Reconstruction and Early Global Expansion, 1945 to 1960. Following the end of World War II, Japan faced a difficult path toward economic recovery. Like the nation itself, Nissan had to reinvent itself. Its factories were retooled for the production of civilian vehicles to meet the demands of a recovering domestic market. Although the initial years were tough, Nissan began offering small, affordable cars that helped people return to a normal routine. A significant milestone during this period was Nissan's partnership with the British Austin Motor Company in 1953. This collaboration allowed Nissan to manufacture British vehicles under license, leveraging European technology and expertise. One of the most popular models of this era was the Austin A50, which enabled Nissan to refine its production techniques and understand the preferences of Western consumers. The British influence played a crucial role in building a strong foundation in engineering and quality. Simultaneously, Nissan began to develop its own vehicles under the Datsun brand, symbolizing innovation and accessibility. This strategic move positioned Nissan to compete against other manufacturers in Japan and, later, in international markets. In 1958, Nissan exported its first car, the Datsun 210, to the United States, where it was well received for being efficient and economical, qualities sought by American consumers in the post-war era. Encouraged by this initial success, Nissan accelerated its exports and invested heavily in improving its production lines. By the end of the 1950s, Nissan had evolved from a local manufacturer into a company with global ambitions, ready to compete in international markets. Chapter 3. Expansion and Market Conquest, 1960 to 1980. The 1960s marked the beginning of Nissan's global rise, solidifying its position as a competitive automaker in Japan and abroad. A key moment during this period was the merger with Prince Motor Company in 1966, which brought new technologies and prestigious models to Nissan's portfolio. Among these were the Skyline and Gloria, two vehicles that later became iconic, especially the Skyline, which evolved into a legendary sports car admired worldwide. With an increasingly diverse product line, Nissan intensified its exports. The launch of the Datsun 240Z in 1970 was a turning point. Designed as an affordable sports car, the 240Z captivated American and European markets by offering performance and style at a more competitive price than traditional sports cars. Its success reinforced Nissan's presence in the U.S. and strengthened its reputation as a manufacturer of reliable and innovative vehicles. However, the 1973 oil crisis posed significant challenges to the global automotive industry. While many automakers struggled to adapt, Nissan capitalized on the opportunity by promoting its compact, fuel-efficient vehicles. Models like the Datsun 510 and Datsun Sunny became popular as consumers, particularly in the U.S., sought cars with better fuel efficiency. This strategic shift gave Nissan an edge as many customers transitioned to brands offering energy-efficient solutions. Throughout the 1970s, Nissan expanded its operations further, establishing factories outside Japan, especially in the US and Europe, to meet growing demand. By the decade's end, Nissan had become one of the world's largest automobile exporters, with a solid presence in both emerging and competitive markets. Chapter 4. Financial Crises and Restructuring, 1980 to 1999. Despite its success in previous decades, Nissan faced difficulties in the 1980s. Increasing global competition, particularly from other Japanese automakers like Toyota and Honda, put pressure on Nissan. While the company sought to adapt to new standards of quality and efficiency, its operations became increasingly complex and costly. In 1990, Nissan introduced the Infiniti brand to compete in the premium segment, especially in the North American market. However, the aggressive expansion came at a price. During the 1990s, Nissan accumulated significant debt and struggled to keep up with competitors' innovations. The lack of clear direction, along with outdated models, hurt sales. Although the company attempted to restructure its operations and streamline production, these efforts were insufficient. By the late 1990s, Nissan was on the brink of bankruptcy, with mounting liabilities and declining market share. In 1999, Nissan sought a lifeline through an international alliance with Renault, the French automaker looking to expand globally. The partnership was controversial, as it involved sacrificing some of Nissan's independence, but it was crucial to avoid insolvency. As part of the agreement, Renault sent Carlos Ghosn, one of its top executives, to lead Nissan's recovery efforts. Chapter 5. The Carlos Ghosn Era and Nissan's Revival, 1999 to 2010. Carlos Ghosn's arrival marked the beginning of one of the most remarkable turnarounds in automotive history. Upon becoming CEO in 1999, Ghosn found Nissan burdened by debt and operational inefficiencies. He implemented the Nissan Revival Plan, a radical restructuring strategy. Ghosn closed unprofitable plants, cut thousands of jobs, and simplified operations, controversial measures in Japan, where job security was deeply valued. Despite internal resistance, the changes yielded rapid results. Within 2 years, Nissan returned to profitability and began experiencing significant growth. New models, such as the Nissan Altima, became bestsellers in the US, and the launch of the GTR in 2007 cemented Nissan's reputation for innovation. In 2010, Nissan made a bold move by launching the Leaf, one of the world's first mass-produced electric vehicles. The Leaf's success positioned Nissan as a leader in sustainable mobility, reshaping its image as a forward-thinking automaker. Chapter 6. Recent Challenges and Future Prospects, 2010-present. After years of growth, Nissan faced new challenges. In 2018, the company was shaken by the arrest of Ghosn on charges of financial misconduct, sparking a governance crisis and straining the alliance with Renault. Ghosn's sudden departure left a leadership void and plunged Nissan into uncertainty. Despite these difficulties, Nissan remained committed to innovation, focusing on electrifying its lineup. The Leaf continued to lead in electric mobility, and the company strengthened its alliance with Renault and Mitsubishi to tackle market challenges. In 2021, the launch of the Ariya, an all-electric SUV, exemplified Nissan's shift toward sustainable solutions. Looking forward, Nissan has set ambitious goals for carbon neutrality by 2050 and is investing in autonomous driving and smart mobility technologies. With its focus on electrification and digitalization, the company is well-positioned to shape the future of transportation. Nissan's journey marked by crises and comebacks, demonstrates its resilience and ambition to remain at the forefront of the ever-evolving automotive industry.